Lying Low by Stephen Wakelam.
The shops were just closing and I'd forgotten to pick up my shoes. The cobbler's was only a minute or two away from the hotel, so I'd just slipped out. I'd noticed the car outside. French. I'd taken the booking, not him, but someone on his behalf. A Mr. Barclay would be coming in from France for 2 weeks, maybe longer, wanting a quiet room, sea views, twin-bedded, with desk or table. His wife would be joining him at some point. The hotel was very quiet. It would liven up towards Easter.
Mr. Barclay?
Yes.
He gets no mention in my diary that day, March the 9th, 1961. Had shoes repaired, my only diary entry, and the way I remember his arrival. Do people have their shoes repaired these days?
I hope you haven't been waiting very long, but we're very quiet.
A tall figure in a raincoat.
Did you have a good crossing? It looks a bit rough.
No, I flew. It's just a short hop.
I was surprised by his accent.
I've never flown. So it doesn't take very long.
That's it.
Tall, beaky nose, and his ears stuck out, was what I would have noticed. Ascetic, I'd now call him. But it wasn't a word I would have used then.
Could I get you to sign this?
Metal-framed spectacles,
Thank you.
small, round.
You're in room 5. It looks out at the sea.
Mm-hmm.
A suitcase, a bag with books, some papers, and a typewriter in a travelling case.
Do you need some help with your bags?
No.
Wiry. Skinny, really.
Are there set times for meals?
Evening meal 6 onwards, breakfast 7:30 on or earlier by arrangement, and lunch 12 o'clock on. There's all the information in your...
Whose is the book? The Agatha Christie?
I'd left it on the counter as I slipped out.
Oh, it's mine.
In French?
Le crime du Golfe. Murder on the links.
You read French?
I'm studying it. A-level.
Agatha Christie?
Oh, no. The aim is to get us reading for enjoyment, really. There's an English version I can keep checking on. I'm not that good. I read a couple of pages in French, and then I read it in English to see if I've got it right. There's a lot of dialogue, which helps.
Oh, you're still at school.
Yeah. I work here in the evenings. Well, 4 evenings. Oh, what's your car called? I've been trying to think. What is it? A Citroen?
Yeah. Deux chevaux. 2 nags would be the translation in English. And very sluggish. Doesn't like a headwind.
You can park it round the back, where it'll be more covered. Seagulls tend to...
Yeah.
A lecturer, I thought, not a businessman. And no wedding ring. This was the 60s. You noticed those things more. He came down to the bar a little later, had a meal. I didn't see him go to bed. He didn't bother moving the car. Hair washing looms large in my diary at that time. A marmie gets a mention, and dark brown sherry rinse. I was thinking of growing my hair like Holly Golightly. Though the advantage of short hair, I write in a handy hint to myself, washed last thing at night, can dry under a hairnet on the pillow. The following day, I note, I bought some nylons, 5 and 11, Bear brand. One of the benefits of having a part-time job. The nylons were for a party. I hadn't intended them to be removed.
No. Billy, don't... No,
Stop, come on.
Billy, 2 years older, and all too ready for what I refer to carefully in my diary as a steady relationship.
What, do you want to go downstairs?
Yeah, it's stuffy in here.
Bye, you guys.
He was a journalist, bottom of the rung, trainee on the Folkestone Herald. Handsome, cheerful, eligible for Folkestone.
How's your mother?
Fine.
And Timmy?
Yeah, okay. Enjoyed the other day. He likes to see you.
Oh, good. Well, I like him.
And my mother, of course, thinks you're a lovely lad.
Oh, well, what does she know?
I know I'm an appalling idealist, I write that weekend, but I wish romances would stop just short of discreet again. This, and remain young and clean and idyllic. I worked at the hotel Mondays to Thursdays. The next time I saw Mr. Barclay would be early that next week, him arriving in the dark into the back car park with those yellow French headlights in the rain. It was signing it down, as my dad used to say.
Mr. Barclay?
Am I in anybody's way there?
No. And I didn't know if you've been told you can get into the hotel this way. You get to locks later, 11 or so, when you need to use the front.
Thank you.
Oh, there was a message for you.
Ah.
From Mr. Calder. Not urgent. He said he'd catch up with you.
It was the same man who'd booked on his behalf. An unusual accent, though I didn't think much about it. He took his time with the note.
Right.
His glasses had steamed up.
It's just that. Not very interesting, sorry.
Thank you.
Did you have a good day? Have you been exploring?
Yes, I've been to Sandwich. Sandwich indeed. Have you found out who done it yet?
No, I've not had time. I've been doing an essay.
What's the subject?
Eugénie Grandet, Balzac.
Yes, I know.
You've read it?
And I remember feeling the need to go on reading it, yes. I think I prefer Agatha Christie these days. Another prolific novelist.
Yeah.
He was carrying a paper bag, a bit wet, with a bottle inside.
Have you read Simenon?
Maigret.
Not just Maigret. He didn't just write detective novels, you know. They're good. Some of them are very good. But I suppose the Maigrets have more dialogue. Yeah, if you're studying French.
Thanks.
He was on full board, but didn't eat in much. Roy, the manager's son, said he complained about the fish that first weekend. A Dover sole, he said, had the consistency of paste. And Roy said he was always too late for breakfast, just took coffee when he got up. But he liked his glass of stout, enjoyed that, and whatever he had in his room.
Hotel Bristol, the Lees, Folkestone. 13th of March. Dear Jake, having a bit of a rest here in Folkestone and environ. Comfortable enough hotel, apart from the food, which is execrable. I'm pottering around, exploring. To Sandwich today because I fancied the name, and then remembered the golf course. Maybe, I've been thinking, that's what one should do. Go and live by a golf course and play every day till the limbs seize up. I once saw a one-legged golfer back in Ireland. What's his handicap? Was the joke amongst us boys. We'd play when we could. 72 holes in a day. I was wondering about coming over to Brighton to see you sometime next week. Phone 2103 if any problems and what days might be good for you. But ask for Sam Barclay. Barclay's my middle name. I'm lying low. Best wishes. Sam.
It's not the Shakespearean method. We're not all over the place. Some of you are doing Macbeth?
Yeah.
Scotland, a castle, a blasted heath, and then in Act 4 we're in England. It's more static, and he's more reticent too. The conflicts are within the characters themselves. You can be forgiven for thinking that nothing happens. It's not drama as we're used to. So don't keep wishing he's something he's not. Don't pack your bag just yet, Valerie. I've not finished. The bell is an indication. What I want you to start thinking about is this. Where's the disaster come from? Is it fate? Or is it from within the characters themselves? Or no? You decide. Argue. Here's your title. In Racine's Berenice, the important conflicts are finally within. Discuss. And now you can go, Valerie. Oh, and I want all those Balzac essays by the end of the week. I don't want some general summary of the novel, so don't pad it out with that. You get no marks for length. Why could the novel be described as a tragedy?
If I couldn't be Holly-go-lightly, and I was a realist and certainly not a smoker, Miss Adams was who I wanted to be. She was like a rare bird who'd landed in Folkestone. Not posh, grammar school, then Durham University. Had had a year, and this was before gap years became fashionable, in between school and university, travelling on the continent, as we used to call it. Had then taught in that impossible dream, America for a time. At 17, I'd got as far as a day in Boulogne on a boat called the Hengist, and about as primitive. I'd been sick, there and back.
Oh, Janet, I've got those copies of The Listener for you.
Oh, thank you.
And we need to start thinking about the school magazine. Have you had any thoughts about an editorial?
No, not yet.
Something with a bit of meat in it, not just the seasons changing. Now, there's a piece in one of those Listeners about young people serving overseas. The Peace Corps. That might give you an idea. Ah, here you go.
Yeah, thanks. Have you read any Seminole, miss?
One or two.
I don't mean Maygrave.
No. He writes realistic novels. They're a bit gloomy. Why?
Somebody recommended him. You haven't got one, have you?
I don't think I have. But I suppose you could try Folkestone Library.
Yeah, that's all right.
How are things at home?
All right.
What people meant when they asked about things at home was Timmy. Timmy was my brother, what we now call autistic, retarded then, and at 13, a handful.
Good night.
Come on, Timmy, it's time for your tea. Switch it off now. No, I said switch it off.
Oh, not finished.
It had finished.
No central heating, of course.
You like fish fingers?
With one fire in the living room and the kitchen warmed only by the gas stove, doing homework was difficult in winter. My mother was a widow. Could only work part-time because of Timmy. I suppose it's what's called fuel poverty now. The first mention of Mr. Barclay in my diary is on the Thursday, the 16th of March. He'd been with us about a week, but had been mainly away. The dining room had a piano, no one else around. It was a murky night, dark, rainy, the place empty. No one in, even for a meal. He was playing from memory, hunched over the piano keys.
Don't stop.
No, I can't remember any more. Do you play the piano?
No.
I've never learned properly, or didn't pursue it. I have someone at home keeps me at it, or used to.
In Paris?
Yes.
I'd like to live in Paris. Is it your wife?
Yes, she teaches piano, among other things. How did you get on with the Balzac essay?
Well, we've not got the marks back yet. Our teacher's very good, but she takes her time with marking.
Oh.
I was interested in what you said about Balzac. I didn't really understand it.
What did I say?
You sounded as if you'd got to the end without wanting to.
Well, I think that happens. I mean, I heard a play this last week on the radio, Rosmer's Home, Ibsen. I didn't like it, but I couldn't switch it off. I mean, I did drop to sleep at one point and may have missed an important part, but do you know Ibsen?
I've seen The Wild Duck on television, or some of it.
Good. You need to... Don't let me discourage you.
What don't you like about Balzac?
I remember I visited his birthplace when I was your age, so I must have liked him once. That was more than 30 years ago. It was a kind of an introduction to France, I suppose, before I got there. I think what I don't like about him is he claims a kind of omnipotence, knows everything. Everything's knowable, huh? It isn't.
Well, how do you know?
You should read philosophy. So, what's the next essay?
Racine.
Racine?
Berenice.
I once saw Berenice at the Odeon in Paris, 1929. It's wonderful. And Jean-Louis Barrault on the radio a few years ago.
Now, we've listened to a recording. It's quite old. You remember dates that precisely?
I have an obsession with dates and facts. Chronologies. Useless.
No.
Do you do history as well?
Yeah?
And will you go to university?
Oh, I hope so.
To study what?
I think French, but I get better marks with history.
But what do you like?
I like... what you say, well... Balzac. A lot.
And have you read Flaubert?
Madame Bovary. No.
Not just Madame Bovary. There's a short story he wrote very late, En Coeur Simple. It's about a servant and a parrot. It's marvellous. And doesn't this place get in the way of your studies?
Well, it's very quiet. Or is at the moment. I can do my homework easier than at home. No television.
Well, I won't keep you from your teacher's right to play you. Was it a recording?
Yeah.
You need to hear Racine. I had a tutor in Dublin with a deep love for Racine. He inspired me. These were the days before tapes and recordings. I mean, he would read it, all the parts. Wouldn't let us stumble over it. He wasn't bad.
Are you a writer?
A translator.
And he just wandered off. A sophisticated outing for a 17-year-old was the newly opened Wimpy Bar. Coffee in mugs 3 times as thick as at home, where it was always cups and generally tea.
Have you got somebody called Beckett staying with you?
No, don't think so.
Samuel Beckett.
Samuel Barclay?
He's French.
Irish. But lives in France. Why?
He's marrying somebody. Suzanne, somebody.
Oh. Mr. Barclay's married. His wife's going to join him. How do you know whoever it is getting married?
Beckett? I've never heard of him. Have you? Yeah, he's a writer.
Well, how do you know?
Well, the Registrar told me. So I have to do the rounds. Births, marriages and deaths. What's been happening, who's here. He's here to establish residency.
What kind of residency?
Well, because his wife-to-be's French. I don't quite understand it. There's no other French at your place, is there?
Well, how do you know he's French?
Well, he lives there. His address.
What's the address?
Boulevard something or other. Paris.
Saint-Jacques.
Yeah, that's it.
Samuel Beckett. He is a writer.
Well, how do you know?
Oh, because I've heard of him.
Is he well known? He can't be
A
very
bit,
well known.
I think. Oh, I don't know footballers.
Who's Johnny Haynes?
Oh, I've heard of him.
Well, he plays for Fulham.
I mean Samuel Beckett. There's a play. He brought a typewriter with him.
What is it in then?
I don't know.
What a false name.
Well, he talks about plays, writers...
You talk to him?
Yeah.
What, it is him? What play?
What?
Well, ask him.
What?
Who he is.
These days you'd pick up your smartphone and Google. Then it was the public library. I'd gone in search of Simenon, which I got, a novel called, promisingly, The Murderer.
Do you have anything by a writer called Samuel Beckett? Playwright.
It will be in the drama section.
It's not there.
We don't have much drama, I'm afraid. Have you checked the catalogue?
Yes.
Well, I could inquire for you. Have you got a title?
No. I might be able to get it at school, thanks.
But in the reference library upstairs, in Who's Who, no Samuel Beckett, but there was a John Calder, a Canadian and Scottish publisher. The man who telephoned had maybe been Scottish, but I wasn't sure, not down a telephone line. Miss Marple would have known for sure.
Dear John, we keep on missing one another. I've been out a lot, so as long as I retain this address, I was told I can travel around as much as I like. And I can't seem to get down to work here. Not for toffee. And I'm sick and tired of the wastes and wiles of self-translation. What a weary battle it always is. And it's always there. I wish I had the courage to wash my hands of it all. I mean, leave it to others, but I can't. So, I'm watching seagulls blowing about, and over the tips of fir trees, I can see France today. It's from just outside here that poor lads lined up for the troop ships in the First War. I imagine, wind in the right direction, they would be able to hear the guns. I went a wander yesterday almost to Dover. Only the tide prevented me rounding the last cliff called Samphire Hole into the port. The light was so bright on the way back, reflected off the cliffs. I was dazzled, almost painfully. But
my detectiving, such as it was, doesn't get a mention. Been to the pictures I wrote that weekend, north to Alaska. Thought John Wayne too fat.
Can't you get in his room?
No. Wait, who?
That chap.
What do you mean?
Well, don't they change sheets and things?
Don't be stupid. He's not a murderer, Billy. Or a criminal.
Well, how do you know? Have you ever used a false name?
Well, I once told Valerie Hurst when I was in the second year that my mother was the Duchess Anastasia. She believed me for about 10 minutes. I'd seen Ingrid Bergman in the film. I hid some jewels under a plant pot in our backyard when she came to play. I pretended to find them.
Jewels?
A necklace of my mother's that had come to bits. Costume stuff. And I once bought her a ruby brooch. Big red glass thing. 1 and 6. She said, "Don't spend your money on me."
Oh, I bought my mother a teapot from Woolworths once. It was brown, blue lid. I think she deliberately broke it. No, I liked it. Do you want another coffee?
Oh, I think they're closing in a bit.
Where do you want to go?
I'd better get back.
Well, do you fancy going ice skating next Saturday?
Where?
Dover. They've opened a rink. They've offered the Herald free tickets.
Jammy sods.
Yeah, I was wondering if Timmy would like to go.
Oh, I think he would. Yeah, I think he'd love that.
Let's go on the lease.
No, it's too late.
I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Oh, I've got to finish an essay, Billy.
Where?
I'm going to Valerie's house.
I can't see you in the week. Not properly.
I'll see you Thursday before I go into work.
That's what I mean.
And I'll see you next Saturday. And you have your football, Billy. It's not just me.
Am I going to finish it? I write. I don't even know if I want a boyfriend at the moment. Am I immature? Or is he just a stopgap?
It was a good essay.
Miss Adams wasn't immature. Books, she once said, were her best company.
There's a writer called Samuel Beckett, miss.
Yes?
What's he famous for?
Waiting for Godot.
That's
En
it.
attendant Godot in the original. It's a slight mistranslation. While waiting for Godot.
Translation?
From the original French. Very unusual. I think he did it himself.
Have you read it?
I've seen it. I saw it in New York. Why, do you want to read it?
Please.
I can bring it in.
You've got it. What's it about?
2 tramps. Everyman figures. It was quite controversial.
In what way controversial?
Well, not much happens. People walked out.
Well, you saw it.
1 or 2, I think. But it had become a hit by then. He had difficulty getting tickets. Had to queue.
And have you got a Flaubert? It's a story called Un Coeur Simple. I couldn't see it in the library.
In French?
I could try.
You can have a translation to go along with it. You know, I think this reading of yours, this wide reading outside the syllabus, isn't going to do you any harm at all.
I'm not very keen on the seminal.
A playwright of some repute, I write. But famous people stay at the Grand or the Metropole. I mention them. David Whitfield, Jimmy Edwards.
There's been a phone call. I could have done with you around from his wife. She's French.
Mr.
Barclay. It's an accident, a car accident. I've written it down here. There's a number he's got to ring. No sign of him the last 2 days. I don't know how to get in contact with him. I told her that. She got some English.
His wife?
Yeah, it's all down there. Irish number he's got to contact. I think I've got it right, but I'm on the bar tonight. Give me a shout if he gets back, all right?
I knew by then. An American edition of the play made you want to read it, and I'd started. Waiting for Godot brought overnight fame to its 51-year-old Irish author, born in Dublin, lives now in Paris, where he writes mainly in French and prepares the English versions of his work. The most remarkable writer to emerge since World War II. And his photograph, a little younger, hair swept back, unsmiling, almost reluctant. He got back a bit after 9. I was on tenterhooks, keeping an eye out, and saw those lights turning into the car park.
Roy, he's back.
OK.
No phones in the guest rooms then. There were a couple of phone booths just off the lobby.
Oh, Mr. Barclay, there's been a telephone call for you.
For me?
Roy's here now.
Oh, Mr. Barclay, I'm sorry to bring you bad news, but there's been an accident in Ireland. A car accident, I think. A cousin of yours, John Beckett.
Yeah, who rang?
Your wife from Paris, but you were to ring an Irish number.
Yes.
I'm very sorry to spring this on you.
No.
We'll get you some change from the bar if you'd like to come in. Just this way, sir.
He was in the booth a long time, and I think sat waiting for a time for a call back.
Oh, and there's this package for him. It's all happening. It's the right address, but it's for a Samuel Beckett. Is his name Beckett or what? I took it in, so when he comes out...
What is it?
It looks like a case of wine or champagne.
They've maybe got the name wrong.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'd usually get settled into some homework. But it wasn't a night for Racine.
Is everything all right?
I think it's going to be, yes. My cousin is in hospital, and it seems just, well, some broken bones. I won't need to check out.
Oh, I didn't... I'm glad.
Didn't need the change. Finally, who do I pay that back to?
Roy, or... Oh, there's a package for you. Roy took it in thinking it was probably for you.
For me?
Only he was a bit confused about the name.
Thank you.
Is it for you?
Yes, probably.
Beckett. Are you Samuel Beckett?
Who's he?
He's a playwright. And I'm reading your play.
The way I think about it now, it was my lobby lud moment. Extraordinary. You are lobby lud, and I claim my, what was it? £5.
Well, that's, I never... Listen, does anybody else know this?
No. Roy, the manager, asked me, well, he was a bit puzzled, that's all.
Well, look, tell him not to be. That maybe whoever typed the label got the name wrong. Barclay is my middle name, so I'd be grateful if you'd tell him not to be worried. Would you?
Yeah, of course, I'll tell him.
I mean, neither my wife nor myself like publicity. I can keep it like that, and I won't need to leave.
I know. I understand.
He'd looked almost distressed.
So, how far have you got with the play? Godot?
Yes. End of the first act?
You know what people said about it?
No.
It's a play in which nothing happens. Twice. Just like Berenice. Now, there's the play. And I'm grateful.
Intrigue. Drama. Later, I would teach Samuel Beckett to undergraduates and think of all the things I never asked him. I wouldn't have known even where to start.
I think he thought he might have to check out.
Well, he's not much trouble, I'll say that for him. Paying full board, not bothering with his meals, apart from wanting some fancy tea.
What kind of tea?
Lapsang souchong?
Have we got it?
No, but I can get some. It's for his wife, he said, when she comes.
All right, I'm going to head
That was the Tuesday night.
Thanks, Roy.
I would see Billy on the Thursday. What I knew was that I had to lie to him.
Or mine. It's definitely not him.
Ooh, sorry. You sound like Lady Muck. How do you know?
I asked him.
Did you?
He's a translator. Same name. He gets fed up of being mixed up with him.
And what about that publisher? John...
I can't remember.
Well, I can. Calder. Like Calder Hall.
Why are you so interested?
Because you know why I'm interested. It's my job to be interested. And he could be lying to you.
Why would he do that, Billy? I think he just translates novels. Why would he lie?
Well, I don't know. What's got into you?
It was a story which wouldn't do him any harm, and a form of rejection.
Now remember what this is. A practice writing under a certain amount of time pressure. Not to panic or freeze. You may make notes before you begin writing properly. Just draw a thin line through them. No need to scrub them out. You may turn your papers over now and begin.
If you're an ambitious examination candidate wanting to show evidence of wide reading, it doesn't hurt to begin an essay with the line, "Of the most famous play by the writer Samuel Beckett, it has been said that nothing happens twice." The same surely applies to its French predecessor, Racine's Berenice. Doesn't mean the essay will be good, but it'll probably receive attention. His wife, or wife-to-be, arrived on the Wednesday. Older than I imagined. She wore a brown suit. Not particularly costly, I wrote, but Parisian, elegant. He must have told her something about me, at least that I was writing an essay on Racine. He introduced her as Suzanne, with a little joke in French.
Pas un pseudonym.
She spoke only French. He'd been a lecturer once, she said.
I simply couldn't teach, and I never touched Cornell.
She teased
I'm very
him.
good at teaching at all. It was only after I gave up teaching that, well, I began failing in quite another field.
They were on their way out. She is the woman to whom I owe everything, he said. And then...
What are you doing on Saturday?
Saturday?
We are getting married. No, not a word. It would be a pleasure to me, to both of us, if you could come along and be a witness. If we get there without a hitch.
That if he were to die, he told me, and they were unmarried, she wouldn't automatically inherit the rights to his work.
I attended the wedding of James Joyce to Nora in London in 1931, which was meant to be a quiet affair. It was chaos.
He knew James Joyce, who I'd barely heard of, apart from writing a dirty book.
I don't even know your name.
Janet.
Would you like to be our witness, Janet?
Would I be a witness? Because he was Irish, she French, and French law being more complicated in these matters, they'd been advised to marry in England.
The registry office in Bouverie Square at 10. We could meet here a little earlier for coffee.
I left my call to Billy's house till the Friday night. We didn't have a phone at home, which made this kind of deception more easy than today.
I'm going back home now. Would you tell Billy they want me to work in the hotel on Saturday morning? We were meant to be going to Dover.
Yeah, of course I will. That's a pity.
Roy's, the manager's, not going to be around. I'm ever so sorry. His mother's not very well. I can't let them down. But, would Billy be able to take Timmy? He said he would. They were going ice skating and Timmy was looking forward to it.
At 9, I was at the hotel. They were a little late coming down. She in the same brown suit, long skirt. He with the new red scarf she'd brought over for him. It was an unusual colour. During the years when they had no money, she said, it was make do and mend.
I bet they don't teach you that at school, hmm?
There's no photograph of that day. I'd been wondering whether to wear a hat. I'd brought one in a bag to the hotel, but she was bareheaded and I left it under my seat in the hotel restaurant. I so wanted to impress. He would win the Nobel Prize before the decade was out. And for half an hour, I was one of their company, a member of the wedding. I drank my first cup of fancy tea. Didn't like it much. I remember he talked about what he might have done had he not become a writer.
Pour un moment, il voulait être un pilote.
An airline pilot.
That his eyes weren't good enough for him to have flown a plane.
Un gardien des peintures.
Or a curator in a gallery. Went for an interview but was turned down. He had friends who were painters. Didn't have the talent for that.
Please repeat after me. I do solemnly declare.
On a dull morning, Saturday, March the 25th, in front of the Registrar, Samuel Beckett married a 61-year-old spinster, Suzanne Georgette Anna de Chevaux de Menil, marriage number 66. Witnesses, J. Bond, me, and E. Pudsey, who worked in the Superintendent Registrar's office. Eric Pudsey. I knew him by sight. He was a tenor, took some of the lead roles in the Folkestone operatic. The marriage went without a hitch. No journalists. I'd hoped there might be champagne, which I would have pretended to like. But the couple returned to the hotel to quietly finish packing and catch their lunchtime flight from Lid to Le Touquet. The Hop, it was called, to be back in Paris by the evening. I would have happily gone with them if invited.
I rang that publisher.
Publisher?
Yeah, called her. Well, not me, it was another journalist. A stringer.
A stringer?
Yeah, he sells stories to the Daily Express who keep tabs on visitors. You were right. It wasn't him after all.
How do you know? I mean, for certain.
Well, he said, Beckett was on holiday in North Africa. He just had a postcard from him.
Yeah, I think it was just a confusion over the names.
Yeah, what I don't understand is, why did your chap call himself a writer?
Oh, I think he'd written a book. Textbook, school book. Sounds good. Well, anyway, it's not as if it was Agatha Christie.
I kept on with the lie, even long after I'd dropped Billy.
And Timmy obviously enjoyed himself?
Yeah, he took to the ice. Shot off into the middle straight away. And crawl around the sides like the rest of us. He can do all that, you see. I'll see you tonight.
Sorry about this morning.
I've decided on something else as well. Only good girls keep a diary. That's the line, I think. Bad girls don't have the time. I stopped being a good girl that night, not in perfect circumstances, at a party, in a bedroom, in a house on the Cheriton Road, folded in coats. A nice lad who loved me and who I thought, well, deserved it. And though I was never going to love him, it made it easier and got it over with for university. In the film E.T., the little boy has the extraterrestrial to himself for some time. I say this sometimes to my students, it goes down well, that for 3 days I had the writer Samuel Beckett to myself.
You've got a French letter.
What?
Mademoiselle Janet Bond?
An envelope arrived at Bristol from Paris. 3 manuscript pages of the play he'd been working on at the hotel.
My own attempts at translation. What I was working on, or trying to, during my stay. I have another copy, and as my dealer in Brighton never shares the profits on sales of these manuscripts very generously, I thought perhaps you should have these as a souvenir.
Happy days. What's he added? Can't read. Many mercies.
I did talk to Miss Adams. I needed to.
What's that mean?
In English, it means many mercies.
Oh, but look, he's written, Oh les beaux jours.
Happy days. Yes, he types, then adds things by hand.
Keep it for a rainy day, he says.
Extraordinary.
What's he mean?
Well, it probably has some monetary value.
Oh, I wouldn't sell it.
No. You can mention it, of course, at your Cambridge interview. I'd take it with you if I were you. Well, that will be your topic of conversation, I can tell you. You've read Waiting for Godot?
Yes. I didn't really understand it.
Don't say it quite like that. I think we need to do a little work on your interview technique. Did you talk to him about his writing?
No.
That's a pity.
He did talk about Racine, though. He loved Racine, hated Balzac.
Did he?
He liked Agatha Christie, read her when he couldn't sleep. He could be quite cheerful, really, and chatty, particularly when he'd had a drink. Ivy, the cleaner, said he kept a bottle of, is it Jameson's whiskey in his wastepaper bin?
Oh, don't talk about the drink at your interview. You say that you had conversations with him.
He was quite a shy man. He said that he wasn't very comfortable with fame, that it meant nothing to him, that it didn't matter if you're not published, and a lot of the time he couldn't write anyway, or it was no good.
There's still enough time for you to write an article for the school magazine about it.
I don't think I could.
Why?
Well, I don't think he would like it.
For a school magazine? Bit of a scoop.
I can't. I had to... No. I like the fact that it... I think he valued his privacy. Don't say anything.
You're a rare bird.
In Lying Low by Stephen Wakelam, Samuel Beckett was played by Adrian Dunbar, young Janet by Charlotte Beaumont, and Janet by Susan Brown. Billy was Charlie Clements, Miss Adams Clare Corbett, and Suzanne Caroline Loncq. Roy was Samuel James, Timmy Gary Duncan, the Librarian David Sturzaker, and the Marriage Registrar Philip Fox. Lying Low was directed by Gemma Jenkins.